Hi, my name is Presley or Prez, and I am an alumni from choir and chamber singers. I am currently a full-time musician, producer, and content creator. I love what I do every single day. I get to work with different artists and students and within the community. I get to make music and art all day long, and I couldn't be more grateful for that. Okay, let's see. What is one of the highlights of your time in the performing arts program, specifically choir? I think I have two answers for this if I could. I think the first one would be a bigger one. I loved our competition in LA. We got to go to Disneyland and we got to do some recording sessions over a couple of movies. I just loved traveling on the bus and getting closer with everyone. It was a really exciting time because we were all about to graduate. So that was definitely one of my favorite memories. But I think on an every week kind of basis, I really loved chamber singers. I felt like it was my first taste at being with people who wanted it as much as me, who were as hungry as I was, and we put in a lot of effort outside of school, and it was just one of my favorite things is seeing a small group of people coming together to make music that we all just really loved. Okay, what are 3 things that you learned that have helped you in your life after Doherty? Yes. Okay, I think the first one would be that your ego is gotta go. We gotta kill that ego right away. And what I mean by that is being a full-time artist and creative, you have to constantly play the fool all day long. You are throwing ideas out into the world knowing that you could get laughed at, you could get made fun of, you could be told you're wrong, you could be told that your art sucks. But the point is if we let our ego die, we are open to getting help, we're open to getting feedback, we're able to actually speak up for ourselves more. We're able to make better creative decisions when our ego dies. I think the second thing that I've learned that's helped me in my life after Doherty would be that good living equals good art. And what I mean by good living is it's not sitting on a yacht with millions of dollars to your name, but it's the little things in life: baking a cake for your friend's birthday, going on a walk with your dog, sitting in your favorite coffee shop. These little moments that happen every single day, to me, are the richest sources of inspiration for the art that I make, because ultimately it's our job as artists to communicate something that we see or feel in a way that a large community can also see themselves in it and connect to it. I think the third thing that I would say that I learned in life after Doherty. Sorry about that, my dog was going crazy. The third thing that I learned was that if you can create in the moment of the feeling or the moment of the event happening to you, that is always the best case scenario. I think a lot of people think that they get through the event, like let's say losing a loved one or graduating high school. They think, okay, once I get through this event, then I'm gonna summarize my time and how I felt. But to me, it could not be the more opposite. I think a good artist can create all the time under any circumstance, no matter what. And so if you can get into the practice of immediately creating art when you're in the moment, when you're feeling it the most, to me, that is the richest form of creation that you can have. Okay, looking back, if you were to give advice to your high school self, what would you say? This is a really interesting question. I think about this a lot. My knee jerk is always to say, just focus on music and don't do anything else but music. Don't even go to college. Just go straight to making your dreams come true and making a band. But then every tiny step I take backwards, it always comes to the same conclusion. And it's that every single decision I made truly has gotten me exactly where I am right now in this moment. And I think that's part of the surrendering of life and being present, is remembering that you do make your decisions full-heartedly every time you make them. And even though your plan may not turn out the way that you think it is, I think it's important to ground yourself in remembering that you did make the decision that you wanted to at that time, and it deserves to be honored. We can always pivot and make different decisions, but to go back into the past or be too far to the future, to me, is really not helpful. I think the beauty of it is to be present. So I would tell my younger self to be fully present, to fully immerse myself in all of life around me, to continue learning, but ultimately to be fearless. This is the best time to take risks if you can, to be unapologetic and put yourself out there and live boldly as your most authentic self. Okay, finally, what words of hope and wisdom can you give these students as they look forward to next year? I think right now I think one of the scariest topics right now, especially for your generation, is AI, or artificial intelligence. So my hope and wisdom that I want to share with you is this. I full-heartedly believe that analog and real instruments will always forever outweigh and be better than AI. And the reason for that is this. If you think about artificial intelligence, it's the perfection that kind of keeps it in this time period. Like, we will look back and be able to hear things. I fully believe this, and we'll be able to be like, this was the huge development of AI art, and this is where we watched everybody turn away from it. I really do believe that the hope for our humanity as we move forward, unfortunately, with AI, is that if we can continue to hold on to the analog, to hold on to actual instruments and carry that into this new digital age, I think that is going to be us preserving the source. And I think us preserving the source of where all of this music comes from, whether it be the original creators of a specific genre or where we got different types of MIDI sounds and things like that. I think it's really important to hold on to that source and remember that at the end of the day, it is watching a human in front of you play a real instrument that will always be more moving than AI. This is a real person who had to put in real hours to make a real sound come out of an instrument. And it's the imperfections and the risk of messing up that I think truly is what brings humans together and is what creates this connection when you go to live shows and any sort of performing arts. So again, just to wrap it up, my wisdom and hope for you is this. Remember that as we transition into a bigger world of artificial intelligence, I full-heartedly believe that if we can hold on to the past, hold on to the analog, focus on the source of where all of this came from, that we collectively can move forward and there will be a space for us amongst the robots. So I hope that helps. I'm here if anybody needs me, and know that ultimately you should make art for yourself, and that's all that matters. And if you love your art, other people will find it. Good art will always find its people.